You know, oh, we are recording. You know, there's types of videos that you make. You don't even think about it. You're just like, yeah, I want to talk about this. So I found a spot behind my apartment to talk about it. So let's talk about it. Nothing in this. Yeah, this is my tablet. I have a tablet. Nothing in my life pisses me off than scrolling through LinkedIn and looking at everybody seemingly win. And the people that aren't winning are being gaslit with BS advice, tips, and tricks from recruiters. And it's just the saddest thing in the world. It's just the saddest thing. 1 week left to apply. As head of social media, I'm often asked if organic LinkedIn reach is the answer. My answer? No. Who gives a fuck? Like, is this LinkedIn or is this Instagram part two? Like, I don't know what I'm looking at. It seems like here's 1,000 jobs. Apply, 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 apply. Rejection, 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 rejection. What is even the point? You know, there was this idea in my mind that I had to be better than the next guy next to me or the next gal or whatever. And I'm sitting here like, no, 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 no. I got rejected from Target last week. I don't think I need to be better than anyone to work at Target. So what we're really saying is, if you're lucky enough to be liked through now what's harder as a virtual impression, or to know someone within some place or some environment, like you're basically screwed. That's what we're telling each other. Like, it's either friends or family. Everyone else, oh, bro, he's cool. Hire him. What if he's not cool? We don't hire him? Oh, hell. So I think I'm gonna make content. I don't know what else. I mean, I've put in my work, 1,000 applications plus. I don't know. Like, you just lose count after a while. You just like are spending 6, 7, 8 hours a day, and after a while, I mean, hell, I got rejected as a dishwasher. A dishwasher? I'm not saying my communication degree wasn't worthless. Probably was. But at least I can communicate. I mean, I think I can talk to plates and spoons and make them clean. I don't know. I saw this video, and it said it is easier now to chase your dreams than it is to actually live that 9 to 5, basic life that we grew up expecting. It is insane that I'm actually considering, is that true? Isn't that crazy? Are you watching this and thinking, am I wrong or am I crazy? Like, what are you thinking? I don't know. But this country, politics aside, bro, it's so money centric that behind every nice word, behind all the posters you see, any commercial, good messages, advice, at the end of the day, people and institutions are so disconnected from the individual people seeking help that it's so easy to provide help. How could you not say good words? How could you not? You don't feel nothing. There's no connection. There's no community. You don't rely on me to succeed so you can succeed. No, if you succeed, you're going to be in the gated community, and if I don't succeed, I'm going to be under the bridge. And that to you is acceptable. And we have normalized that idea that if you are in a Mercedes and you drive past a homeless person on a wheelchair with one arm, you're not obligated to do anything, and no one's even gonna think about if you had an obligation in the first place. It's like an individualized society. And I wrote an article about this when I was working at the Reveille. I wrote specifically about collectivist versus like individualist societies and how the West is so individual. Like, we just don't care about each other. We just don't. And we see that reflected in declining empathy and heightening narcissism and things like that. And I would have to check the stats lately because that article is like a year old now, but it was something I was like thinking about earlier. And it just sucks. It just sucks. And I've always felt like I'd be really good at making content. I've always felt like I can talk in front of anybody. And I have also felt like my speaking ability sometimes makes me an outlier and makes people uncomfortable, because if I actually speak the way I want to speak, people generally don't have the energy to mask it or match it. So I mask my abilities, but then I turn into like this timid bitch. And I hate that, because that's not really who I am. I hate not being able to express myself. Like, this to me isn't aggressive. This to me is just normal me. Like, this is how I would talk. And if you don't believe me, I mean, I wouldn't say ask my friends. They're private people. But, you know, the friends that I do talk to know, like, this is how I talk. This is how I am. And I remember being a kid, and like my parents, when they're on the phone, man, they like the whole world can, كل العالم تسمعه. Like, it's just everybody can hear you. But that's normal. They're not screaming, they're not yelling. It's just timid, hi, how's work? Shut up. No one gives a fuck. It's just like, speak with some passion. If you don't have passion in this life, what do you have exactly? It's like the person who says, like, I don't need to work out. What do you mean you don't need to work out? I guess you don't need to wipe your ass, brush your teeth, change your oil. Like, what do you mean you don't need to? You don't need, what? It's ridiculous. Need cannot be a synonym for survival. You need food, sure, and it's maybe a higher degree than you need exercise, but you need exercise. You should group food, exercise, brushing your teeth, wiping your ass, all the rest. My trouble is, dude, brushing my teeth at night, it's so hard. It's so hard. It's so hard. So, I'm supposed to offer something in this video. I'm not sure what it's going to be titled, but here goes my take. How long we're 7 minutes in. Man, hell. If you're a senior, junior, liberal arts, communication, sociology, psychology, philosophy, what people would call the BS majors, the non-STEM ones, even though the STEM ones now are increasingly, I mean, go ask a STEM major how hard it is for them to find a job. I mean, it ain't a cakewalk for them either. But if you're in that liberal arts, especially communication, you know, since I did that, man, focus less on the grades and more about wiping someone's ass. Focus more on doing shit by yourself. Right, create some portfolio. Try to get yourself out there. And not because you want a job, just because you can self-market yourself now on Instagram. I mean, that was the biggest mistake I ever did, is I never felt, and I still don't feel like I can write except for someone. But, you know, I had someone tell me, a good friend of mine that used to work with me at the Reveille, and they said, you know, start a Substack. And I was like cringing at the idea of starting a Substack, because I like a certain amount of credibility behind the name that the writing is attached to. But at the end of the day, you know, I have to move with the times. So that's what I would tell you, is move with the times. Do not feel like you need to get a perfect internship, and know that your reality isn't everyone else's. Like, you gotta try. You have to try. Send, you know, put in those 1,000 applications. Send those emails. Work on that resume. Go see the career coach. Talk to your friends. Talk to your family. Ask for advice. Do all the things. All the things stay the same. But realize that you are behind the 8 ball. Like it is harder for you. It is harder, whether you succeed or whether you don't. If you do succeed, don't start thinking that life is easy. If you don't succeed, don't start thinking that it's impossible. Yeah, common sense, blah, blah, blah. Just stay fucking half aware of the real world in some way to your best ability. But the point here is self-market. Like, you need to figure out how to market yourself, whether it be to every person you meet. You better be giving some eye contact, whether it be in classes, like talk, raise your hand for God's sake. Oh my God. And it'd be the people that don't raise their hand, that stay on their fucking computer shopping or some bullshit like that, and all of a sudden they got internships. I don't know. Was it the Greek life affiliation? I don't know. Was it nepotism? I don't know. Did they know a guy? Maybe. But all I can say is, Do not think that it's just hard work equals good outcome. I wish I could tell you that was true, but I feel like I worked pretty damn hard, and it's just it didn't work. And not to say it's not going to work. I have full faith in myself. I have no problem telling you the system fucking sucks. I'm just trying my best at it, but I'm gonna tell everyone it sucks. I just don't think that's very negative. I think it's just being realistic. I don't like this Red Bull. I usually am a watermelon fan, but it's kind of lame. It's too watermelony. Spilled it on myself. I lost my train of thought. God bless. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So you'll run into obstacles that will force you to reevaluate. So people will tell you lack experience. Yada, 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 whatever. Tell them to go fuck themselves. Not literally, but in your mind, you got to, because lack of experience, well, I'm trying to get experience. Point, end of story. It's a meme on Instagram. Just because it says you need experience, apply anyways, try your best, and if you get the interview, the hardest part is just getting the interview at this point. In today's world, I mean, getting an interview for me is a fucking celebration. The next point is doing something that is kind of leading into a career, but you can't break into that career. So, for instance, like I worked in journalism, print media, but I cannot land a job in any print media that I have applied for. So it's just, those hurdles suck. That when it's like, man, I've been building these skills to get into this specific industry. So that is pretty disheartening. And there's a number of other things that will come up and be annoying, but the point is, like, stay upright. And this is where I think for me it was working out. Like, working out has bothered me when I didn't do it, and helped me when I did do it, to both extremes that I know for a fact that I need to work out to stimulate my mind, to stimulate my motivation, because it's just hard. Like, these people have no mercy. And, you know, it's not their fault. A recruiter can only talk to so many people, interview so many kids. It's fine. But man, that post-graduation LinkedIn clarity, damn, sucks. I hope some of that helped. I hope all of it entertained you, and I hope none of it disappointed you. I wasn't here to impress, but, you know, I'm not here to disappoint either. So subscribe to the channel. My name is Mohammed Tantawi. We're about to hit 500 subscribers, which is really exciting. I mean, it is like a very cool, positive point going on in my life as I get rejections from dishwashing jobs and being a cart attendant. Bro, you know when they asked me, do you want to be a cart attendant? The first question in that virtual interview was, what made you pick this position? Do you know the bullshit that I had to garner to answer that question in some sort of professional way? Anyways. So I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope you stick around and are just fascinated by the journey of a random 25-year-old who is continuously thinking that next year he's gonna not be lost, but maybe this whole life is just one big labyrinth where you're always lost. So I hope you come back and watch some more videos. Got tons of content on the channel still, and a lot of my old videos, I gotta give up to myself. I wish I had the time, money, energy, and overall discipline to continue doing what I was doing, because I do feel like I was doing something that was basically what I see a lot of people do now, and I was doing it in like 2019. So it is really cool and very validating that I do think that anyone who's been following the channel knows that we've always had the potential to make this thing grow. It's just always been a matter of motivation, discipline, and circumstances that have been in the way. But you know, I've graduated now. We're gonna make this happen, and we're gonna have some fun, because this is the only positive spot about being free of college, is that I can just make content. So I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out, guys.